Trading will give you cash for the devices you want to throw away. So what are you waiting for? Come into Dent Trading at 39 Broad Street, Charlestown, Georgetown today, or call them on 616-0412, 622-0455, 670-0268, or 225-9444. You have always trusted Kester D's Gospel Music Center for the best in gospel CDs and DVDs. He has also been known as the best person to duplicate your CDs and DVDs. Download your favorite gospel music on memory cards, flash drives, smartphones, and other devices. Well, now, Kester D has moved to a bigger and better location at Lot 206 eastern half of Charlotte Street between Alexander and Camp Streets. For more information, call Kester D on 600-3991 today. Kester D's Gospel Music Center, the home of gospel music in Guyana.
It's all you, in tune with the rhythm of the islands.
Hey, it's all you, the flavors of the islands like wind in the sun.
With your vitamins A and C.
Follow your island spirit. Catch the rhythm of the islands. River of bread, your strength by grace.
You have always trusted Kester D's Gospel Music Center for the best in gospel CDs and DVDs. He has also been known as the best person to duplicate your CDs and DVDs. Download your favorite gospel music on memory cards, flash drives, smartphones, and other devices. Well, now, Kester D has moved to a bigger and better location at Lot 206 eastern half of Charlotte Street between Alexander and Camp Streets. For more information, call Kester D on 600-3991 today. Kester D's Gospel Music Center, the home of gospel music in Guyana.
And good evening, Guyana. Welcome to another edition of You Are Not a Mistake, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me here in the program. And it's always a pleasure to be with you wherever you are. And tonight we will have a very intense discussion, trying to figure out some numbers. One, and I'll be talking to one of our ministers of the government and youth empowerment. So stay tuned for that. And sometimes it's good to know the people that are in authority, apart from the office, know the individual. So we will get to know our dearly minister when he gets here, and we'll be having a discussion and find out how we could move forward in terms of helping our young people. What are some of the programs planned, if there's any, and how we could work together as a people to make this beautiful nation of ours one that everybody will want to come and see what it's like. So we'll be having these discussions tonight. Remember, like 2 weeks ago, I promised to share with a product that will be on the market here in Guyana, that I will be spearheading, and I would like to give us a little demonstration on that, and I hope that time will permit me to do all of these tonight. It's very packed, so I just want to say thank you very much for having me, and thanks to our sponsors for being a part of this program, namely Sumacal Trader Limited with a non-alcoholic beverage, Tropical Rhythm. We also have Dance Trading with the make some money for the things that you don't want, like batteries, whole car batteries, truck batteries, tractor batteries, magnet and all these different things, from fridges and, scrap metal. These are some of the things that you can make some money for rather than have them lying around, for no reason. So make some money for that, all right? And then we have Kester D Gospel Music Center, as you all know. Our location is Charlotte Street, 206 eastern half of Charlotte Street, between Alexander and Camp Street. So, flash drive, memory cards, colognes, shirts, we got a few belts, towels, things like that, on the market very shortly, a very product that everybody would like to have in your home will be on this market. And I would introduce you to it, and I'm sure you would love to have it, and you should have it as we work towards a green economy and disaster preparedness. you need to have these, this particular product will be very useful in these areas. And so I will introduce you to that. So stay tuned, all right? Good. Tonight, before we go any further, I want to, Pastor Joe, you all know, I have him here on numerous occasions. We did Skype and all of that. We brought Hope is Rising to Guyana. That's from a little meeting in our office there, in his office there in Queens, New York. Turned out to be something real humongous in this nation and very, you know, helpful in terms of giving people hope. As you all know, hope is rising. You know, I was boarded in an office in Queens, New York, between myself and Pastor Joe. Pastor Joe is the person who really brought the idea, and with my influence here in Guyana, having major players on board with us, we were able to, you know, gather a whole lot of support nationwide, and we've, you know, got a lot of results coming out of that, and which will, based on some of the arguments tonight that I will put forward. And this is not to hit at anybody, because, you know, first thing, you know, when custody talk, right? Because people don't see me as anybody really particular in society. I know that. They see me as this little black boy who got no sense. It's all good. I have no problem with that. But this little black boy gonna ask some serious questions that needed answers, you know what I mean? So tonight, what I would say, some tough questions will be asked, and I'll be very grateful if those who are responsible, one, Ministry of Health, come under this questionnaire, also Ministry of Social Protection. We have NGOs, the World Health Organization, and all these people, the media, pastors, and all religious leaders in this nation, business community, and everybody, government, every facet of society, should know, the people of Guyana should know the results for, or the statistics of suicide here in Guyana, right? I need to know as a nation, we're struggling with 750,000 people. Recently we heard 800, the last census, the 800,000, so we still didn't reach 1 million people. But yet, we are branded as #1 in the world on suicide, okay? My thing is, the figure that is being used is since 2012, 2015. We are in 2018, boss. So every year, the police will come up with a report of crime and, you know, comparing last year to this year. My thing is, why are we not seeing that in the area of suicide? Should we have like an annual report on the statistics on suicide in Guyana? Is there a particular part in Guyana that suicide is happening every day that we don't know about, that we should know about? So these are some of the questions I would like to have answers for, and like-minded Guyanese would like to know. What is the big secret about this whole thing? We want to know, and I'm asking a question based on, as you know, on behalf of Hope is Rising. I'm a member of Hope is Rising. So on behalf of Pastor Joe, who is the founder of Hope is Rising, I'm asking these questions, and we need answers, all right? You saw what we did here in Guyana. We went to boards all over this place. Hope is Rising is no secret to nobody, right? We didn't went and we begged nobody for no money to do nothing. We did it off of our own, with the help of pastors within the different body, and we approached government, and, you know, to some extent, the government came on board to share. Remember, Ministry of Social Protection came, representative of Ministry of Health came, and all of that. So you can't play that you don't see Hope is Rising and what we doing. You can't play and see it. And we ain't taking ignore. Because real millions spent to get where we are. And we need some answers, right? So tonight we're going to get the bar rolling. So there is this media outfit in the U.S. called Pastor Joe based on what they saw happening in Guyana, in India, and parts of Africa. Pastor Joe go all around supplying water and helping, giving hope to people. So it's not just a Guyana thing, but Hope is Rising was aborted where? Here. And so on the 18th of this month, the government of St. Lucia has called for Hope is Rising in that island. Yeah. So Trinidad is calling for Hope is Rising. Jamaica is calling for Hope is Rising. So how Guyana playing them and see what's going on with Hope is Rising, eh? All right, so we're going to go to this interview with Pastor Joe, and we're going to get right back where I will outline some things and see if we get some answer rolling. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere.
I sat down with Pastor Joseph Passard, the man behind the Hope is Rising movement. His country, Guyana, had the highest suicide rate in the world. Yet a simple act of obedience on his part changed it all. Take a look.
Well, Pastor Joe Passard, it's great to have you on Turning Point.
Thank you for having me, Simi.
Yeah. Now, you have an amazing background. You've traveled to over 25 nations. You pastor a church in New York over 30 years with your dad.
Yes.
But I think what I like about you is that you believe in not just the church,
right,
but in economic development for many countries. So
correct,
tell us about that, sustainable development,
yeah,
for third world countries.
Yeah, well, we are interested in changing nations and changing people's lives, and not only changing them for a hand out, but a hand up, and giving them an opportunity to get out of poverty. So creative ideas such as giving them small loans called microfinance to create small jobs for themselves, so that you are not giving them a fish, but you're teaching them how to fish. And so we've done projects of creating small vendor jobs and folks who have never had an opportunity to make a daily living. We've been able to help do that. We've done creative things like buying a cow in India so that the milk could be sold in the market and bring that family out of poverty. It may seem very simplistic, but in some parts of the world, these things really do change an entire family.
Now you're working on these projects, and then I know you're from Guyana.
Yes.
And so God began to speak to you,
yes,
about Guyana,
yeah,
and helping the people of Guyana. I know most people know about Guyana from Jim Jones,
yes,
and the mass suicide that took place.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, it was reported that Guyana had the #1
sure,
suicide rate in the whole world. And God began to speak to you,
yes,
about what to do. So tell us what happened.
Yeah, I had gone all over the world. You said I've gone to over 25 countries, and from Haiti to Nigeria to India. And then I had not gone back to my own country in over a decade. When God started speaking to me last year about going back to Guyana, I heard loud and clear, Pastor Joe, don't go and preach at 2 services and leave the country. There are other folks who are doing that already. They're going to do it much better than you. You're going to have to do something that's going to really help a nation as a whole. That's where we started doing some public relations late last year. And this year, for the first time, I went back into the country. And I visited back 4 times. And we've done 3 major events to bring awareness. The first event, we had 7,000 folks. The second one, we had 4. And then the last one with Travis Green, where we really believe something really broke in the atmosphere. Something really came that's changing that country. We had close to 20,000 people. So it's something that has swept that country. And I am saying today that, we did this thing and we call it Hope is Rising, that since Hope is Rising has gone into Guyana, we could report, if the numbers are reported right, that Guyana is now not the #1 suicide-rated country in the world. It's not even the number 10. We believe there's been a steep, drastic decline through the power of God.
That's a powerful shift.
Yeah.
I know we call it the Guyana miracle.
Yes.
That God could use
Yes.
a nation of that size. He could change
Sure.
the destiny of a nation and even the
Definitely.
issues
Yeah.
that they're facing with suicide. And for other people watching, maybe in their nations, they're going through, whether it's poverty, it's suicide,
Yes.
it's just an insurmountable issue. You're saying that with the power of God, when
Sure.
churches come together
Sure.
and pray, that God can shift a nation. So encourage someone watching who's like, I really hope that God can do this
Yeah.
for my own nation. We're facing so many things.
Yeah,
What
you
would you
know,
say?
we have gotten calls from at least 7 nations saying, we're seeing what is happening with Guyana. Can you bring Hope is Rising to my country? There are countries that suicide is hitting those countries, violence, especially the third world countries, and the church has not had a hold of a real concerted effort. Let us join together to make it. And so Hope is Rising, this is what we did in Guyana, and here's what we're seeing, drastic reductions in suicide.
And my final question, speaking of hope,
Yeah.
there are people watching who are like, wow, God can shift the whole nation.
Yes.
God can turn a nation that was, the highest suicide rate
Yes.
down. And they're thinking, I don't have hope. In my personal situation, I
Yeah.
feel hopeless. Maybe they're suicidal.
Yeah.
What would you tell that person?
I would say to that person who is watching us, wherever you are today, that Christ will make the difference in your life, and that a spirit of hopelessness is a spirit that could be erased out of your life if you just look and see the light beyond the darkness. For if you just, the spirit of suicide is a spirit, it is a spirit, that if you survive that, you will go on to do some great and mighty things. Some of the greatest men and women of God survived the darkest periods in their life and went on to do some great exploits for God. So there might be someone who God has something great to do through them, but the devil has stopped them and put them into a dark place. We all have been in that place. I would say just survive it, move beyond it, let hope come into your life, because something great is about to happen on your life. And that person who's watching me from anywhere in this world, something great is about to happen. The devil does not want you to do it. Just look beyond where you are and let God do something great in your life.
Attitude. Give me attitude. Next. Action. Guys, where's the ice cream? Cut! In 4 delectable flavors, the new Super Premium Royal Ripple ice cream is smooth, unbelievably rich, and far more affordable than you think. Royal Ripple Super Premium from Sterling Products Limited. What do you do with your old vehicle batteries, cell phones, and computers? Bring them to Dens Trading. They specialize in recycling your old batteries from your car or truck or from devices like your cell phone and out-of-service computer motherboards. Dens Trading will give you cash for the devices you want to throw away. So what are you waiting for? Come into Dens Trading at 39 Broad Street, Charlestown, Georgetown today, or call them on 616-0412, 622-0455, 670-0268, or 225-9444.
It's all you, in tune with the rhythm of the island. Hey, it's all you, the flavors of the island, like bending the sun.
Rich in vitamins A and C.
Follow your island spirit. It's the rhythm of the island. We gonna break your strength by grace. Yeah, man.
Enjoy.
Tropical rhythms. Bring it up.
You have always trusted Castudi's Gospel Music Center for the best in gospel CDs and DVDs. He has also been known as the best person to duplicate your CDs and DVDs. Download your favorite gospel music on memory cards, flash drives, smartphones, and other devices. Well, now, Castudi has moved to a bigger and better location at Lot 206 eastern half of Charlotte Street between Alexander and Camp Streets. For more information, call Castudi on 600-3991 today. Castudi's Gospel Music Center, the home of gospel music in Guyana.
Welcome back, and that was Pastor Joe there being interviewed by one of the international media outfit there in the U.S. and very profound. And we cannot play that we're not seeing the work that persons are putting out. Can't play it down. Can't hide it under a bowl. It's too big for anyone to ignore. And so tonight, before the Honorable Minister gets here, just trying to get this out of the way. All right? The question is, those responsible for reporting numbers have allowed the World Health Organizations to remain stuck with 2012 numbers in which they said 4 for every 100,000 persons. That's 252 per year. That report in 2012 is saying 4, which the numbers in which they said 4 for every 100,000 persons. They're saying 4 out of that 100,000 committed suicide, which would mean, with that figure, 352 persons per year will be committing suicide. I mean, I'm a Guyanese, I'm living here, boss. Where does number rise from? It means so much people dying, losing hope in Guyana, and it's not a cause for concern. So we're moving on. Then just before we did, just before Hope is Rising came, now we remember we did that breakfast there at Marriott, but the pastors and Ministry of Social Protection on behalf of the government was there to represent, and they have made some figures to us as well, right? And at that time in April, it came out the new number, which were any more in the world 4, because we are 30 per 100. So from 4 to 4, it moved down to 30 persons for 100,000, which would mean 240,000 per year. So we had a drastic deduction, which set us at, I think, from being number 1 in the world to number 4, right? So to get to 352, take 8 times from 4 to 4, as we have 800,000 people in this country, based on the last statistics. To get 200 to 40, to take 30 times out by 8, right? So if 2012 numbers were right, for 352 divided by 12 to get 29.33 suicide deaths per month. Yeah, so much people losing hope in Guyana. My goodness. All right, I'll get into the meat of the matter. If last year April numbers were right, then you take 240 persons divided by 12 to get 20 suicide deaths per month. So there's a decline there. But our argument is it's far much lesser than that per month in Guyana as we speak. And so we're calling out to the powers that be to give us the right numbers, and let's put an end to this. We need to know, like, oh, every year the Guyana Police Force, I keep repeating that, would come out with you know, how serious crime comparing to last year to this year. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and which if it's lesser serious crimes or more minor crimes and things like that. We need that in the case of suicide, boss. Because we are Guyanese. We want to know, we celebrating life, not death. And we reach 1 million, and we get so much natural resources, and we trying to, you know, make sure every household, you know, the president would have said, you know, opportunity, better life for all Guyanese. And he meant that when he said it. And I'm supporting it with that, right? But Rome ain't building a day, you understand me? So we got to work towards that end. You can't just sit home, well, you know, President Green, just say, you know, better life for all. So you sit down and you plant your foot. Well, as people would say, cocktail. Right? You chop your foot on the sofa and you're there flipping the channel waiting for the better life come. And you won't contributing towards the end. Right? So, you know what I mean? That's the situation, man. But we're moving on. We're moving on. We're not making up these numbers. It's real. And we're doing our, you know, own checks. And we're just saying something is not adding up. Because I'm living here and I'm not hearing 5 suicide per month in this country. Is there suicide that we don't know about? Shouldn't we know about it? If people dying, why the family is quiet about it? Or the community? Or the media? Why? Something need to be done. We can't just sit down and the World Health Organization telling us, yeah, this is #1 in the world with suicide by, you know what I mean? Look some money and deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? Or yeah, this is #4 by. No. We can't accept that. We got to do better than this. We have to do better than this. And based on our checks, there is no more than 3 to 4 suicides per month. Which would mean we are off the list. We are normal where suicide is concerned. Of the international list, we are normal. I am arguing that fact, and I have to see the numbers to show me that otherwise. And we are demanding that numbers. I mean, organizations such as Hope is Rising, I mean, spending all the money in this country for bring hope to people, we have a right to see those numbers, don't you think? We ain't talking empty, you know. We have everything to show the amount of money invested in this country to bring hope to people. And we just asking simply and respectfully to show us the figures now. 2017, 2018 figures for suicide in this country. I am saying, and Hope is Rising is saying, that there is no more than 4, I put it 4 maximum suicide per month in this country. This is the argument. I mean, one of them spirit, no, y'all don't do it. I don't know, I ain't accusing nobody, but I don't know why people want to make suicide a big issue in Guyana, Guyana's suicide rate high, and they comfortable with it there. Why? Is that its personal means or something? Why would we want to have the death in our nation at a high rate and we showing after the world we is #1, we is #4? This thing we show off about? No. We could do better than this. So my argument, and for time I didn't want to go through the whole, but this I start in the bar rolling here, so I start in the bar. I want to get to we minister and talk to her. So you hear about the minister out of the office, and sometimes you see the minister, you say, minister just get there, you know. Minister got had a life before she became a minister. That union had no clue, but because she didn't wait in the limelight, but now she turned a minister, and Susan we think, yeah, the minister this and the minister that. We want to sit and have a good discussion with our wonderful minister tonight, and talk to her about her, and she have a passion for young people, and she will also be running for vice chairman for the PNCR. And so I would also you seize this moment to talk to her about running for that office. And what can we expect from her compared to the others, what they would have done. But maybe it's something, even if you want to talk about what the others do, you're focusing on what you would do. So I'll be keep it along the path. I don't want to show shades for nobody, and nobody say about minding them, and you say them and do nothing, and all them kind of thing. We want them, we depend on good vibes up in it. I just want another minister coming on is not a mistake, just like me. We no mistake. We just reach where we at. We've been through some stuff, but God has kept us, and He's given us favor, and He's put us in this position or in this position to make a difference. And that is exactly what we're doing. So don't see us as enemies when we ask tough questions. The reason why we're asking these questions is because we care about our nation and the people therein. So that is my main reason for some of the things. I'm passionate about it. I don't just say yes to things because I want to be a part of it. I say yes because I think I can make, you know, a difference. And that is why I say yes to things, you know. So we'll go to this next break, and we go to light it up with my bicycle, you know what I mean, lighting up the things, you understand what I'm saying? Suicide, for me, we have that list, you know. We normal. We in there number 10, we in there nowhere wrong there. We normal. Because I ain't seen no 4 or 5 deaths per month in this country where suicide is concerned. Much less 20 and 15 and 18 and all them things what World Health Organization tell me about. In we own country, me seeing it as a Guyanese. I want to see the figures. Y'all show me who, the name, where, what part of Guyana that happening. I need to know. I will go personally. You know what I mean? And I will check it out. because I have a concern for my nation and the people. Why people killing themselves? I want to know, you know, so that we could help these people. You understand me? You feel like just want to come on TV looking good in the suit. I know I look good and so on, but, you know, I want other people to look good too, you know. I saw the thing said, I'm a Leo boss. This is how Leo does roll. Me boy, this is 24th August. Y'all remember, so y'all going to send the gift. I ain't going to remind y'all of my birthday. Send the gift now. You understand me? So I could talk about it. I want a gift. Yes, I want a gift. All right. So light it up with Psycho. We'll be coming right back with our minister on the set. Stay tuned.
When I shine my light bright, I like it. When I shine my light bright, I like it. When I shine my light bright, I like it. I like it.
We bring light to the darkest spaces, hope to the hopeless places, smiles to the saddest faces. Light it up. Give a hand to the poor and needy, never greedy, we give free. We bring strength to the ones that are weak. We light it up.
I like it.
Yeah. We light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it. We light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it up, 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 up. We light it up, 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 up. Light of the world burn like a bonfire. We light it up like the Messiah. Anybody say them don't sing is a liar. We got the fire, we got the fire. We bring the vibes and we light it up. Where I go, we are right it up. We are the beacon, we bright it up. We got the fire, we got the fire. We light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it. We light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it up, 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 up. We light it up, 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 up. We got the truth in our way. Light it up, make the whole world see. We will be who we be. We light it up.
I like it.
So we la 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 light it. Public light, we light the private. La 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 light it. So we like it. So we lit. We la 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 light it. We never hide it, we ignite it. We la 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 light it. Now for sing, no tweet, no hype it. I will life this.
Io mi sentivo da non conoscere Gerusalemme.
We light it, we light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it up, 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 up. We light it up, 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 up. We bring light to the darkest places, hope to the hopeless faces, put a smile on the saddest faces. Light it up. Give a hand to the poor and needy, never greedy, we give freely. Give strength to the one that's weak, we light it up, yeah. We light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it. We light it up, we light it up, light it up, we light it up, 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 up. We light it up, 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 up. We light it up, 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 up. We light it up, 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 up. We light it up.
When I shine my light bright, I like it. When I shine my light bright,
That's how we light
when I
it.
shine my light bright,
You know I like it.
I like it. I like it. When I shine my light bright, I like it. When I shine my light bright, I like it. When I shine my light bright, I like it. I like it. I like it.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Lighting it up, you know. I got a big bulb. All right. But time around, I can't talk about this bulb tonight, you know. I got the Honorable Minister, Junior Minister within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Honorable Annette Ferguson, with me on set tonight. And I'm happy to have her, one, so that you know the person. I mean, you know the minister, but you don't know the person. You know, I don't know how that sounds. You know, the minister in our function of our office, you know, your road body, I'm minister, my road body, you know, but do you really know the person? And so tonight I want to give us that opportunity to hear who is Annette Ferguson in a nutshell, and in her capacity as a minister as well, and she running for vice chair in the PNCR and all of that. And also she will touch on youth development, because we know the government is big on youth. And so, seeing that she's a youth herself, she's the fittest person to talk to us on some of the youth developments afoot. So good night to you, Minister. Welcome to the program. You are not a mistake. I know you're no mistake. I know mistake. And how do we love Jesus, man?
All the time,
you know
boy.
what I mean? So long before you're a minister, Jesus. I know you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you know exactly who Annette really is.
Correct. So this is relationship, yes. And this is not political. For those of you who might say, I know he was a PNC. All right. As a Guyanese one, and I care for my country. This is my sister in Christ. I love Shabbat. You know, she's a minister of the government, and our relationship remain intact. Exactly. So no office, you know, she gone up there just forget Kester down there and say, no, we good. I could call her and we could talk normal. You know what I mean? Yes. So tell us, and people like these, you know that is genuine people. That you know, you go through long hours, minister, sit down, I sweating out here, so she ain't got no time watching me for the camera, see me sit down and tell me she didn't meeting, you know. All right. So, Minister, tell us, who is Annette Ferguson in a nutshell?
Well, Annette Ferguson, well, first of all, Kester, I want to extend gratitude to you for affording me this opportunity to, you know, meet with the people in TV land, to let them know who Annette Ferguson really is, and also, I guess, other areas that we will touch on this evening. Yeah. So I want to say good night to all Guyana, for those of you who are tuned in to Safe TV, Channel 2, and it's indeed a pleasure me coming into your home. So to answer Brother Dean's question, who Annette Ferguson is. You know, Annette Ferguson is just I'm a woman, obviously. That's one. Yeah. Two, I'm simple, you know, very outstanding. Two, I am also one of with sound integrity. And most importantly, Kester, I'm God-fearing. I love Jesus with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my life. So basically, and I'm also, you know, a humble servant of you, the people. So in a nutshell, that is who Annette Ferguson really is.
I hear you. You know, comparing your childhood upbringing to what you're seeing today, how would you?
Well, to be honest, in terms of what is happening in society, or you know,
no, you know, your upbringing turned from going to school to where you are, compared to what you're seeing happening in our society today.
It's totally different, Kester, because the reason for me saying this, you know, young people today, you know, they're more in tune with the advancement
technology.
Of technology.
Wow.
You understand? And they're glued, you know, to their cell phones, their other gadgets and all manner of thing. But comparing from my childhood to what I'm seeing here today, you know, back in the days, Kester, growing up, I come from a disciplined home, you know, and you know, you had to be. You know, my parents
used to beat and so.
Bad boy. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I just want to share here publicly that, you know, I actually grew in a single parent home because my father died. This year October will make 33 years since my father died. So he died and left us at a very tender age. So it was just mom and my grandmother. And I must say, it is the two of them who really nurtured us to where I am, and my other siblings to where we are today in society. So looking back to life then to what it is now, you know, I recall in my younger days, as I said, I go in a disciplined home, and when the elderly people talk, you had to listen. Now these days, if you got to share a little advice to a youth out there, you know, they want to rail up, they don't want to listen to the older folks. So they just see life totally different. So I trust that, you know, you know, life would change to, as we progress here in life, we would see different behavior patterns from our young people. But we have to continue, the older ones, we have to continue to bring them up the way they are to be brought up from what we would have went through in our upbringing. I mean, I have nieces and nephews, and some of the values that we were given as children, you know, we try to bring them up in the same manner, mannerism, you know, they must understand what discipline is all about. So, you know, it's not just what you went through, but you're actually putting it into practice. You know, and outside of the home, even in society, if I'm walking down the street and, you know, or driving, you see children going, you know, wrong, I will stop and engage them. No, this is not the right thing to do. This is how you need to have it done. I recall just might have been over a month and a half ago, I was heading back to the office, and there were, I know, exams were in session. And driving through Queenstown, I saw a group of young men under a tree gambling. This is during school hours,
uniform.
in school uniform. You know, so you know what I did? I said, driver, reverse. I exited from the vehicle, went over to them. I said, this is, we all doing is wrong. Y'all are gambling. This is our for school. What is happening? It is this. And you know, I pulled them together and I went to the head teacher. And you know, I forget that I was a minister of the government.
You just be yourself.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I be myself, because at the end of the day, Kester, sometimes all the children want, these youths nowadays, is just for somebody to put something positive in their mind. And I trust that what I would have done on that day would resonate with them.
You talk to them from a perspective of a parent, not a minister.
Exactly.
I hear that.
You understand me? So, you know, from then to now, life is totally different. So I trust that as the years progress, we would see, you know, a whole different new generation coming.
Yeah, well, I hear your heart. Long before, you know, this new government would have put in place as, you know, the government of the day. And you becoming a minister, tell me, how has that, you know, impacted your life? You know, how does it balance our family, government, and dealing with the affairs of the state?
All right, well, Kester, let me start by saying this. In 2011, after the 2011 elections, I became a member on the opposition benches.
Okay.
I never thought that, you know, I mean, I would have become a representative of the people. Honestly speaking, never. It is, I think it is just before we actually went into Parliament when David Granger, the then leader of the opposition, called me and he said, Annette, I would like for you to serve with me. Are you willing to serve? And I responded in the affirmative because I was really committed to giving back to nation building, right? So I did what I had to do as an MP on the opposition benches. After the regional and general elections in 2015, I never foresee myself becoming a minister of the government.
Wow.
Right? So I got a call just the night before us swearing in, because I swore in the first batch, right, of ministers. So when I got the call, I think it was a Wednesday night for the ceremony the following day, which would have been the Thursday. And, you know, I was elated because I guessed, you know, somebody had to see something
in you, correct?
Me,
yeah.
You know, leadership qualities amongst every other thing else, you know, to offer me.
But you didn't know they were watching at you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. So, Kester, you know, being a minister now and just before then, when I left school, I started working at the Guyana Post Office Corporation as a clerk too in the HR department, and my promotions came rapidly. In 2004, I became the youngest, most qualified manager responsible for all post office properties in Guyana. All post office, 65 plus post offices.
Wow.
Yeah, all post offices. So up till 2008, when I, you know, said I think probably I had enough, and I moved on to USA. So during my period of a manager with the Guyana Post Office Corporation, you know, taking what I would have learned then into who I am now, a minister of the government, I don't think it is a difficult one, right? Because you have the managerial skills that you bring along, right? But serving at the level of a minister is basically you formulating policies and basically how those policies are to be managed. So me having that background, right, it would make it more easier for me, even though, I mean, sometimes you have to be very thoughtful of how you implement policies, because remember, you have to have policies implemented in a positive way that will impact the lives of our people. So I see the transition as an easier one for me, because, you know, I have, you know, the background of a manager, and then my academic certification goes with it. So I don't think it's that difficult for me. So I mean, yes, as you progress, you will see things differently, but what you will have to do is to adapt, you know, adapt, and perhaps some of the things you learned, you will try to, you know, have those implemented as you, you know, go forward. So well, I see it as a positive way.
Certainly. I see comments. I mean, I like a Facebook police. Sometimes I'm very quiet and just observe things before I say, it got to be real before I like jump in and say anything. And your ministry, I'm not saying that because you're here, but the ministry in which you are in is one of the leading ministry that get a lot of props from people for the work that you guys are doing in terms of the infrastructure of Guyana and things like that. I mean, there are a lot of areas to cover, yes, but like I said earlier, Rome in building a day.
Exactly.
But the fact of the matter is that we're seeing progress, and that alone in itself you should be commended for, along with your senior minister, Mr. Patterson.
And not only the two of us, Kester,
but the other staff.
You know, the support staff, you know, without the engineers, without even the contractors, you know, these things could not have been possible. And while I agree with you that, you know, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure is doing well, you see, the projects that we do, or the things that we do, are one of tangible, that you can actually relate to. Roads, you got a bad road, you see the men torn up, we get it fixed. So that bad road has now become, you know, a better road to traverse on, right? Bridges, the same thing. If you got blackout and you know GPL can come in, fix something, lights are restored. So basically, we are aware that public infrastructure is indeed doing what it really wants to do. And in order for our country to progress, in order for our country to develop, you know, it depends heavily on infrastructure. Because having good roads cuts down on timing. You can move fast from one point to another without any much discomfort, right? And I know, kudos to the guys out there.
Yeah, man. Kudos to you guys there. And, you know, as we moving on, tonight we're talking to, and I mean, a lot of things I myself am hearing for the first time from the minister. So it's a learning process for me just as well as you out there that are watching in the program, all right? And so, which will take me to my next question to the minister. And youth empowerment. She have a passion for young people as arm of the government. I'm seizing this moment to find out what's in the pipe. Feel free, whatever area you want to share about young people and what is in store for them. Is there hopeful or something like that? You know what I mean? I want to know the this thing for me. Guess in I hear a little story the other day, but this little $1 million and thing, and there's a big buzz around, you know? Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of positive things out there.
Yeah.
You know, hope is out there for our young people, because I want to make this very clear, especially if you're young and you're young at heart and not so young and you're tuned in. I just want to let you know that the government, we haven't neglected our young people. We are doing everything possible to assist our young people. So it brings me to this point, is that the government, through the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, even the First Lady's office, the Ministry of Social Protection, the Ministry of social cohesion, the youth department, you know, they are doing a lot of projects, you know, engaging young people. Just 2 days ago, I was in Lethem, and, you know, I was taken to a particular area where young people, both male and females, they were currently undergoing a training in ICT, information communication and technology. And this particular project is being done through the office of the First Lady. So I know that ministries, even the Ministry of Public Telecommunication, you know, I guess you would have been hearing about the STEM
Yes, correct.
project and
Yes.
so forth. So we have a lot of projects that we're offering to young people. But in order for young people to respond, they have to ensure that they tap in. And we're getting positive responses from young people, especially those in the far-flung regions. And I was very much happy to see the young indigenous people, you know, presenting themselves to learn more, to be exposed to ICT. Because mind you, Kester and viewers, for too long, our young people in the hinterland regions, they have been suffering lack of accessibility when it comes to information. And I am happy that the government, you know, through the Ministry of Finance, would have made it possible for, you know, projects like these to be rolled out in the various regions so that our young people can present themselves, become, you know, exposed to these trading. So when you go back into your communities, because it's not just them being trained or exposed to these projects or programs, upon completing these programs, they're presented with a certification.
Okay.
You understand me? And even a stipend in some cases. I know the Hayes project, for sure, we would give them a certificate and also a stipend after completing these programs. And what that is doing, in a sense, is that when they return to their respective communities, they can now become employers. You understand me? Help to train other young people. You understand me? So it's like a
so rather than giving a fish, teach them how to fish.
Exactly. Right? So, you know, I know the government has been doing a whole lot for the young people. But as you rightfully say, I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. I just don't want our young people to, you know, lose hope, but to ensure that you work with your government, work with the engines, the various engines or organs within your community, so that at least you can be a part of the process.
Position yourself.
And you know, and Cassie would agree with me, even through the Ministry of Social Cohesion, you know, the director of sports, even though he's my friend, but I know, you know,
Mr. Christopher Jones.
The National Sports Commission, they have been doing a whole lot. You see, young people being exposed to scholarships, you know, even going abroad, representing Guyana. So that in itself is saying to our young people that once you position yourself, you're going to get the necessary support from the government.
So for Georgetown, you're doing this in pockets like interior, East Coast, Linden, or it's a broad-based thing, you just apply to a specific place and then you'll be, you know, contacted. How this works?
No, here, it depends what your passion is for. So let's say you have a passion probably to get involved in ICT. The ministry that you would want to, you know, go before would be the Ministry of Public Telecommunications, right? Anything to do with sports, we know is the National Sports Commission. So even if you turn up at public infrastructure and you say, you know what, something to do with agriculture, I will pilot you to somebody within the Ministry of Agriculture. And the other pitch I want to make here, Kester, is that we have been encouraging our young people to, you know, prepare proposals. We have budget, we have monies in the budget for that, you know. Go to the Small Business Bureau in the Ministry of Business on South Road there. Let them know exactly what is it you want to do. You have a proposal, they can guide you how to have that proposal prepared. And once that is done, you return to them and they will tell you how it can be funded.
Wow.
So if our people really want the help, We have these institutions established.
But
All you have
I
to do
don't
is
think
go
I don't
there.
think they know.
Well,
There should be like an advisory saying, listen, this Bamba, if you need whatever, should that be done?
Well,
So-
I know for a fact that to some extent that is being done.
Done, okay.
But as I rightfully said, if you really want to get involved in a project or a program and you approach public infrastructure,
But you will do.
exactly,
Okay.
we will channel you to the correct department or the correct ministry that you can get the necessary assistance.
Certainly. You heard? Young people, grab this opportunity. Don't bubble, or don't hesitate, don't waste time. Don't sit down on the corner, government thing coming wrong by we ends, but you go wrong by the ends. You understand what I'm saying? All right? So time is swiftly slipping away from us, honestly. And definitely, we got to have the minister. She's very much busy, right? And things like that. But I want to get into this whole vice chairman. I've never been a part of these kind of things. I mean, this is my sister. I got to support her. I love her. She got my support. Chris is my baito, but Chris, boss, you know what I mean. I hope me you turn enemy. You can't turn no enemy, but me you go up the road for them, right? So tell me, how is it? How are things, and what people need to do in terms of coming to, let's say they want to support you. What do they need to do?
Well, first of all, in order for me to get your support, or in order for you to support me, you must be a member of the People's National Congress Reform.
Okay. How do you do that?
If you allow me, Kester, within the 10 administrative regions, we have like regional executive committee, and under the regional executive committee, you have party groups. So in Georgetown, for instance, in every district, you would find a PNCR party group, right? And what you'll find, those members within the group, right, they would amongst themselves identify their delegates. Because according to the Constitution, in order for you to participate in Congress, because Congress is every 2 years, where we elect our leaders. But in order for members to participate, to become delegates, one, they must be, as I said, members of the PNCR. Two, you must be financial.
Okay.
You must be financial. And for every 10 financial members,
okay,
you're entitled to one delegate.
Wow.
So let's say, for instance, you might have a group. I'm just hypothetically calling an area. Let's say the border area may have 100 members from within that district, that border district. So therefore, if all 100 members are financial, they're entitled to 10
Wow.
members.
Okay.
Right? 10 members as a delegate. And then the Constitution also allows for observers. So delegates are those with the power to vote, right? And observers are those who cannot vote. So you might have 2 new members within your group, or 2 new members within the group that you may want to identify to attend as observers. They can attend as observers.
Okay.
So that is how one can get involved in the process. So it's not open to John public, right? It's basically
within the party.
you
Okay.
being a member of the People's National Congress Reform.
So
and in order for you to be a member, I'm just putting it in a nutshell, is that you have to be a member of a particular group within the district, within the regions.
So even if they decide tomorrow they want to be a member, how do they do that?
Well, they can complete a form, but that doesn't mean
Where
that,
does they pick that up?
Well, you got a Georgetown district in Guyana, in Durban Street, sorry, and then in the other 9 administrative regions, you have party executives. You just visit where the office is, and they can give you a form. But that doesn't mean if you fill up a form tomorrow,
You can become a member.
you can become a member. It doesn't work so.
Okay.
In order
scrutiny.
Exactly. In order for you to, complete that form and become a member, you have to have 2 years. 2 years, roughly 2 years. Is it 6 months? to year.
Okay.
Right?
You gotta show your work.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You
hear
know, you
that.
gotta go through a probationary period
Wow.
and all manner of things.
Nice.
So if you become a member, you fill up the form tomorrow, we have to ensure that we screen you well before we actually, you know, put you probably on probation or, you know, a full-pledged member.
Nice. Wow. So there you have it. No, at all. Kevin. but maybe I should ask that question for public reasons. So it's been shown out. The question is, you know, can you be a member of the PNC and other party? You know, well, for me, I know there's a no.
No. No way. If you're a member of the PNCR,
that's it. Full stop.
PNCR. You can't have dual membership. You can't be a member of the PNC and then one of the PPP. So that's why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If before you become a full-pledged member, you know, we would normally screen you well.
Yeah.
We'd screen you well.
That you're coming as a spy.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice. I love this, you know. I mean, I never see myself really as a politician or whatever, but knowing the sister, I know Chris, I know I have a family member who's a minister of the government as well, you know. Mr. Felix is my family,
yes.
right? So, but there's anything else, Minister, that you would like to you would like for the public to know that we haven't touched on?
Well, I thought that your other questions will follow, you know, on my run up or my run up to the elections for.
No, but you confident. I know you will be the next. You will be the next vice chairperson.
But I
know
want
what
to make it clear because
yeah.
I know you said, you know, you made mention of Christopher, you know, and Christopher.
And he's running as well.
Well, Christopher is running as well, but I want to make it clear to the public out there. The structure of the People's National Congress reform is of such. You have the leader, who is currently the president.
Correct.
Right? Then you have the chairman. Then you have two vice chairpersons. You understand me? So even though you have probably like several of us running for the position of vice chairperson. So I guess the person who comes out with the most votes will become the first vice chairperson. And the person who comes in with the second highest votes, that person becomes the second vice chairperson. So the structure allows for two vice chairpersons of the party.
Wow.
So in concluding, I don't know if you have another question. It seems as though somebody on the floor has a question.
Yeah, feel free. But Kevin, we could take some. You take some calls. You take some calls from the public.
I have no trouble.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we could give them 5 minutes. A presidential hopeful in the future, you know.
Well, yes. Well, you see, it's every 2 years.
You fit on proper.
We have biennial Congress. So 2018, this would be our 20th biennial Congress. So come 2020, you know, and that's the year we would be heading to regional and general elections. Yeah. Right? So we will have our 21st biennial Congress. So it's every 2 years. So to answer Kevin's question, whether the chairperson, right, whether the chairperson automatically becomes the president, that's the question. Well, I guess, you know, that is for the delegates to decide.
Okay.
To decide. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So we got a call online. Carl, good night to you, sir. All right. So that call where TK, are you credit done? So we're gonna take just 5 calls and then we gotta go. You know, our time is up. But Channel 2 has been very gracious to us and they have extended a few minutes more. So we got another call, Kev? Yeah. But if you had a question with the minister, I would be very surprised. Carl, good night.
Good evening.
Yes, good night, sir.
To the minister, and you said yes, I know her very well. But minister, I want you to know one thing. I don't know if a think the last time the bridge was fixed on the Berrimont Mall is the public works step in. And I think you should go around and check. We have 2 bridges in the Berrimont Mall that people cannot walk over.
This under the infrastructure or this mayor city
This is
council?
really mayor city council. Are you talking about the bridges running north to south on Church Street?
On Church Street.
Yeah, that
The one by
linking.
Guyana too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think the last time is the public infrastructure ministry stepped in and built all those bridges.
Okay.
Under, I think was Minister Manichat Osborne was working the time.
Okay, okay.
So I think you should step in there and do something.
All right. Noted,
Thank you
caller.
very much.
You're welcome. Noted.
All right. Yeah, so there we have a concerned citizen who's looking out in the interests of the public, you know, and that is good and is welcome. You know, we need things like this, setting like these, where ministers of the government will come and sit in on programs and face the public. You know, we know in the past ministers running from the public. I mean, if you interview them, they're structuring where you must ask them and them kind of thing. If you are notice me and no pen, I mean, nothing, the minister, we had no pre-discussion to say, well, you know, I guess you gotta ask me these questions, you know, you can't ask me this or you can't. Nah, we not nothing like that. We got another call online. Call, good night to you, sir, or ma'am.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Yep, good evening.
Good night.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good night, Minister Gordon. And Brother Kester.
Yeah.
Kester.
So like you go for 7 minutes to Kester too. Your mouth go for slip there just now. You got a carry on, you know. Yes, how can we help?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Minister.
Yes, dear.
I live in Center Square. My name is...
Sister Jean. Yes, Sister Jean.
Minister, this is a road by me. The road having holes. This is not today, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Please come and see it.
All right.
I'm begging you. Kester?
Noted.
Good night. How you doing?
All right, you know.
All right.
Good.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm practicing, you understand me?
You can't run up for the president.
I practice, man, I ain't say about president, I just tell you I'm practicing. Man, you want to put words in my mouth.
Good night. Have a blessed day. You minister.
Good.
Yeah,
thank
well,
you.
thanks. You know, and again, I've seen that, like, I don't care about your road, I just say, Minister, my road here in Durban Backland, at Free Street. It will be so, because I can imagine people in Durban Backland watching me say, Kester, all right. You're right there, the minister, and he's saying, and there are people calling and talking about their road, and you're talking about we road. So, Minister, Durban Backland at Free Street, our road is like, bottom grazing, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So, I put in a one there. And street lights, the other day, remember they get robbed, one. And then the other day, somebody robbed somebody in Sophia. I jacked the car, and come and park in front by me. Leave the car there for 3 days. So, it's me neighbor them observe because during my mom's funeral and all that, I was in and out. The guy say, hey, you got a car, so unattended like 3 days. Check out, investigate. I put the thing up on Facebook. Before you know it, rob the guy in Sophia, come and park the car there. You know what I mean? And so, and where at Free Street is they got a pipe carrying straight to the black hole.
Okay.
So if you got lights there, it would minimize any illegal thing because they got people with cameras in the place. So once the light is there, you could see what's going on.
Okay, good.
Right? Yeah. Carl, good night.
Hello?
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Good night to the minister. Good night, Kester.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, this calling in connection with Protect Street by Alexander Village Restaurant. Who deals, I mean, the road right next to me here. The road is like total dark. And I heard that they're getting some solar lights, put like street lights, so lights, if you like put from there, because on the night people get robbed and everything, a lot of crime is going on. So from West Rockville School, Alexander Village, I think it's the next street, one still there to Mandela Street.
Okay, good. Good caller. Kester, if you may allow me to,
Sure,
you know,
sure, Minister.
bring some clarity here. You know, every road, every street light needed, every drain to dog, persons are of the belief that it is public infrastructure. So I need to clarify something here. That's why, you know, we have 3 levels of government. You have central government, of which the ministers are a part of. You have the region. they too have responsibilities for roads.
RDC and this
yes, the RDC. And you have the NDC and the municipality. So Georgetown, being a town, we're actually managed by the municipality, right? Georgetown municipality. But because of what is, we know their constraints at this point in time. That is why, the public infrastructure, Ministry of Communities would give the necessary support, right?
Yeah.
But I want to make it clear, public infrastructure, we're responsible for all highway lights, all major access roads, major access bridges. Those are the responsibilities we have.
At the government level?
At the
ministerial level.
At the ministry's level, right? So let's say, for instance, when I say main access roads, I'm speaking Calfesto, I'm speaking East Bank,
Rupert
East
Craig.
Coast, exactly, East Bank, West Coast, even Quarantine. So those are main access roads or main access corridors that we have responsibility for. So to answer my friend question who called from West Rumville with respect to the light, I hear you, sir. Yes, the government of Guyana, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, through the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, we would have received, or we will be receiving 10,000 LED lamps from the Japanese government. We have so far to date received in excess of 4,000. So what we intend to do, and we would have made it public approximately 2 months ago, that we will be phasing out these red lamps, the oranges looking lamps on the highways. So we want to focus on the highways first, right? Have those lamps installed, and then we will deal at the level of the of communities
like streets, right? And things like that.
I hear you. I have noted it. So once we have remainder, we will ensure that these communities are outfitted, because we understand that when you have dark areas, it attracts illegal activities. And the big concern, every time you go into a community, every time you go into the regions, this is the plight of our people. We need to have lights. So the Ministry of Public Infrastructure will be working, or we have been working with NDCs and municipality and even the regions to some extent to give the necessary support that will bring relief to the people within their respective communities.
Okay. So I think, Minister, you put it out very well so that all could understand the different area for these functions, and certainly we know you guys are working, so there's no question about that. And so this will be an ongoing thing, whereas from time to time, like once a month, to bring a minister of the government in, their various ministries, they are available, and we will have these discussions. So
I think that would be a good approach, because we have to make use of all the medium, that we have available, so that at least we can bring the information to the people. Because many of our people, from time to time, even though the information is in the print media, people would find it
not everybody's read
exactly to sit and to read. So us meeting like this, having conversation with our people, I think they would better understand what are the workings of their government.
Certainly. All right. So this is where we got to bring an end to this. And I must say, Minister, there's a university in the U.S. that is within the evangelical makeup that is within the UN that gave out honoraries to persons that they may have select as their ambassador internationally, whereas they give you a badge or whatever. So wherever you go, you recognize as an ambassador of the UN within this evangelical setup. And so you've been nominated for ambassadorship or excellency from this university. So I would just ask to convey that to you tonight.
Oh my God, thank you very much.
Because I put up on Facebook that I will be talking with X, and so I was called to find out in depth about the minister and her functions and how good I know her and all these. So I've been asking a whole lot of questions for you, So so I think on the 1st of September there will be a graduation for some members here in Guyana who will be doctors in the area of the body and things like that. So at that function, you will be given, you'll be
honored. Thank
right.
you very much.
Right? So
Thank
keep
you
the
very
date, 1st of September open, please.
Will do, and kindly convey my gratitude and sentiments to the body,
Yeah.
and I will await the confirmation.
Chancellor of that university. Certainly I will. So thank you very much.
Well, Kester, you know I cannot go without making this speech.
Okay.
You know, as a politician.
Put the camera, I want to see your face. Put your on the...
As a politician, I cannot be before my people via the television station and not say this. On the 19th, the dust will settle when our Congress comes to an end. But my Guyanese brothers and sisters, we have a whole lot of work to do, because the 12th of November is soon approaching. And we all know that date and what that date is all about. It's local government elections. We all within our various communities, our various constituencies, will be returning to the polls to elect our local representatives. And I want to make this clear. We all are aware by now, a Partnership for National Unity will be contesting these elections independently from the Alliance for Change. So I just want to encourage our people out there to go out in your numbers and ensure whomever that person is, you support that person, you elect that person to be your representative. And I want you to remember too also that it was this government that brought back local government elections. And if you're on the East Coast, East Bank, in these NDC areas, I want you to go and encourage your people, be it in the churches, in the mosques, in the temples, your youth groups, wherever we all congregate, and let them know that we got to turn out in our numbers, because communities are still complaining about clogged drains, bad roads, no potable water, you know, bad public health and all manner of things. The reason why this is happening is because majority of the NDCs, 75% of the NDCs are currently controlled by the PPPC. And if we do not change the current composite, our communities will remain in the state they are. So my encouragement to you here this evening, it is for us to turn out in our numbers. Remember, these elections are community specific or constituency specific. So I want you to turn out in your numbers and throw your full support behind a Partnership for National Unity so that we can have the good life that we promised you. With those few words being said, I want to say thank you for allowing me into your homes, and may God richly bless us all. Thank you.
There you have it, Minister, Junior Minister within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Honorable Annette Ferguson. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, ma'am, for coming.
Welcome.
Thank you, and I trust that you learned something. Some of your questions that you may have had answered, and we will continue along this path. And so just, you know, enjoy your night and have a pleasant work week as well, you know. No cricket is in the air and everybody's shouting for the warrior, the warrior. Yes. You know, but in November, local government elections, so go out there and vote, because you want your community to be better, you want a better road, lights and all these different things. So if you need that, you need to get the right people there to make these changes and so on, and, you know, to let progress and development continue in our nation. I'm Kester Dean, on behalf of CFTV Channel 2. You are not a mistake. Thank you for watching.
Attitude. Give me attitude. Next. Action. Guys, where's the ice cream? Cut! In 4 delectable flavors, the new Super Premium Royal Ripple ice cream is smooth, unbelievably rich, and far more affordable than you think. Royal Ripple Super Premium from Sterling Products Limited.